Thanks for joining me on this walk talk. You know, almost every morning here in Mexico I take a walk on a path that leads me by many different fields, much like this one that you see in the background here. These fields have to be tended a great deal by the farmers. First, they plow the soil, quite often with one or two horses and a wooden plow. Then they plant the seeds or the small plants. They usually put down some plastic to help guard it from weeds and for keeping it more moisture laden so that the plants grow. Then I've watched as the farmers later on come by and they will spray their plants and also weed with a hoe. Sometimes they stake the plants so that they won't fall over. So the farmer, to get a crop in the fall, has to be very intentional about growing his crop in his field. He has to put forth a tremendous amount of work, and I see it throughout the year as I make my way along these paths, along these fields. And it got me to thinking about how our faith is much like a field, and how we need to be intentional about cultivating our faith, just as the farmer is intentional about cultivating his field. You know, if the farmer didn't do anything with this field, it would just be a bunch of weeds by the fall. The reason it'll have a beautiful, bountiful harvest is because he's been intentional and put forth all the effort. And so it's just a reminder that in our field of faith, we need to be intentional. That if we don't work at our faith and aren't intentional about making it productive, that we will end up with really hardly any faith at all. Some of the ways that I find to cultivate a faith and to be intentional about it is to read the Bible regularly. I read it every day. To talk to the Lord every day, that's important. I find being a part of a Christian fellowship is important. That helps my faith a great deal. And just daily asking myself, Lord, what would you have me learn from this difficult experience? Or when things are going well and I feel blessed, to say, Lord, thank you, and to focus on Him, the giver of all good gifts. So there are many ways we can be intentional about cultivating our field of faith. And so let's do so, even as this farmer has been intentional and is intentional about cultivating his field. God bless, and thank you for being with me on this walk talk, and stay close to Jesus.